Good morning. It's Blabbing for Britain, and I'm just checking my messenger to see what's going on. So, loading up messenger. It's Stephen, by the way, in wonderful Wiltshire, and I've not had a message, so that's good. Good sign. What I don't have is two friends in the staging area waiting to come on screen. So when this countdown clock is finished, it was just me. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, LinkedIn. I'll be with you in 23 seconds, or roughly 23 seconds. I've got a video I can play you anyway. I do have a plan B, but plan A would be for Peter and John to be here. Now we know, hopefully, that everybody's okay. So I'm just going to wait for that clock to count, and I'm here. Okay, let's have a bit of light on the subject. This is interesting. I'm just waiting for some software to load, and the software is now loading, and I can go here, and I can go here. So I now have lighting. As you can see, the wall is back. This is the original wall. Say hello to everybody on Facebook and YouTube, where we're broadcasting today. Thank you for watching live. And if you know where John and Peter are, let's set out a search party, shall we, and see if we can find John and Peter. But welcome to the show. And I think I'm in the right place. You always wonder when you're the only person in the room whether you got it right or not. But welcome to the show. This is Blabbing for Britain, 337, episode 337. We've been doing this show live for 6.5 years, and still, sometimes things are last minute. Okay, so Peter is here. He's not doing his sound test because it's too late for a sound test because we are live. Morning, Peter. Hello.
Well, it wasn't until I went out to my garage and tried to set up and found that the pointer wouldn't work.
So okay.
Okay. So that's why I'm here.
Good. This is Blabbing for Britain, and I'll just remove that. We'll hide the penguins. I've got an echo.
I can't hear an echo.
Nope, that's because you're making it.
Well,
you got to. Do you want to refresh?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. The strange thing is that the person who can't hear the echo is the person making the echo, which is counterintuitive, but we'll try again. No, I've still got an echo. Yeah, nobody else can. Testing. That's better. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Right. Okay, that's better. We've got things sorted out. We're good. So, Blabbing for Britain, episode 3. I've still got.
Can you hear me?
Let's hide that. Okay. Testing 1.
Okay, it's saying there's an echo. Console noise.
Right. Okay. Testing 1, 2. Right. Okay. We've no echo. Echo's gone, which is good. Okay.
Right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can you just say something again, Peter?
Right. Hi, I'm Peter, and I'm trying.
Right. Okay. One, your mic is cracking up, and 2, I've still got the echo. And the third musketeer is here. 3, 2, 1. Morning, John. Do you hear an echo when I'm talking?
No.
Can you hear one when I'm talking?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, if you two want to introduce you, I'll take my turn. I'll refresh. We'll be back in a minute. Could be me. I'm going to refresh. Share's yours.
Okay. Right. Good morning, John. How are you?
Worse than I was last week, I'm afraid.
Worse than last week.
Yeah, definitely. Day 11 of COVID, and I feel
Oh, yeah.
again.
And I mean, you've yet to get the bit where you're sleeping all the time.
That's the biggest problem, is getting a decent night's sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Stephen, I'm not getting any echo at all, and I'm using Chris.
Yeah, I appreciate you using Crisp, and I think we're okay now. Okay,
Right.
Gremlins.
Right. Okay. Let's. Yeah. Yes. Right.
Okay.
Subject today? Have you got any subjects?
Nope. You may start, Peter, if you wish. We're open to.
Just as well I have. I've been having a. This is the week of speaking about cycling. Now, what they're proposing to do is getting some sort of registration for cyclists. Hey, no problem. I would do it tomorrow. No problem. Careful what you wish for. Two, all cyclists to be insured. Fine, no problem with me. I've already got that insurance. Okay. And we've also got a good solicitor behind us should you harm us in any way with your cars. Okay. So this is what they're proposing. Now, we had Norman Baker on the television yesterday talking about cycling because he was involved with the structure of it. And he was asked, would he wear a helmet or does he wear a helmet? And he went, no. He says, I don't wear a helmet. He says, because they've done some studies that if a man wore a helmet, cyclists were motorists were a bit more aggressive to them. If a woman went without a helmet, they give them more room. And this is what he said. And if they were blonde women, they even got more room. But they were a bit more aggressive to men cyclists. What else was there? So that's and they're imposing, looking for a 20-mile speed limit. Best of luck with that one. You know.
Well, I mean, right. Okay. If you want to distract people, you put forward a stupid idea that nobody's going to take up. And I think this is a stupid idea that nobody's going to take up. Cyclist registration. I don't see nobody sees the point in it. Yeah, it's just
I think
flying kites.
What they want it for is those cyclists that go through red lights, basically. Yeah. For the minority that causes a problem. And somebody, no, it was great this morning. They had a London taxi driver on, who's also a cyclist.
All right.
And he says, yeah, get us away from one another. He says, and he was actually defending cyclists. It was great because he said, what's the worst problem for you being a cyclist? He says, people on their mobile phones in their car.
Yeah.
That was the biggest problem for him, not paying attention, you know. So, and it was great to see a London cabbie on talking about cycling being good, because that's what he does in his time on. I mean, yesterday I had a glorious day. I never posted it on Facebook, but I did 26 miles yesterday on the bike.
Yeah.
And I had one lady with an electric bike out with me, and Andy, who's trying to get fit, and I left him behind. And I was on my heaviest bike,
Right.
and it was fantastic. It's made me feel great. So please, please, please don't knock cyclists, not with your car, but don't knock cyclists, you know.
Yeah.
And the other thing Norman Baker was asking for is all lorries to have cameras so they can cameras and things so they can see around the whole edge of their vehicles, because unfortunately most cyclists that are killed under the wheels of lorries as they turn left because they don't know the cyclists there.
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah. So that's the great cycling debate this week.
Yeah, putting cameras is not expensive, is it?
Mm.
Yeah, and just check
The-
it before you turn left.
Yeah, or even better, mirrors that can see right down there, because they've got to do it in London. Sadiq Khan made all the lorries do it, which was a
Yeah.
good idea. And it's just about safety. It's about safety for cyclists, you know. And but the old road tax, there's no road taxes if people don't realise that by now. But if I have to pay extra to be a cyclist, I will. But by God, I will have my say then. I say, look, I pay more than you. I also pay for vehicles, so I've got that, and I've got this. I'm more right to be in the road on you.
Okay.
Right, I rant over.
Say hello to Corinda. Good morning, Corinda. And Corinda is saying, I'm awake in bed watching you guys. Okay. Corinda contracted COVID earlier this week, so he's in bed
Okay.
recovering. Yeah, and as we would say, get well soon. 11 days, John.
Yeah, and still full of nastiness. I mean, it changes as you go on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all chest stuff now and sore back, but beyond that, I don't think I'm infected any. I don't think I can transmit any longer or infect other people, but I still feel shit.
Yeah, you're not infectious anymore.
No.
5 days now.
Yeah. How's Celia?
So fine.
Good. Right.
She started before me, so she's better before me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How about getting shopping and things like that?
It was not a problem at all. Just ordered online from Aldi and then had a non-contact pickup. No problem at all. They have 2 bays for pickup at my local Aldi. I drove into one of those. They send you a text 2 hours before you book a slot. Then you order, you pay, and then my slot obviously was the next day. I'd already paid online. You get a text 2 hours before your slot. You drive into the slot. You reply to the text with which bay number you're in and your name. 5 minutes later, a man comes out with a trolley. And he parks the trolley by you, goes and stands away. You unload into your car, and then he takes the trolley away. So it's completely non-contact.
Yeah.
It works fine. In fact, it's a better way because you don't get distracted and buy loads of things you never intended to buy when you go in the shop.
Right. So you're only buying what you want, what you need.
Yeah. The only complaint that Celia had was we obviously bought some meat and it was a bit short dated. It was only 2 or 3 days of date on it rather than maybe a week like normal. It wasn't the end of the world. But, yeah. So thanks to Aldi, worked very well.
Right.
That's a good service. That's a very good. I was speaking to someone I know who does deliveries there. The deliveries are actually costing the firm money. I won't say too much, but it's actually costing. They're losing money with doing deliveries.
It basically cost a £5 to have the non-contact pickup, but they did everything. It came out packed in trays with fully compostable liners. So the liners, once you've got home, you can put on your compost bin.
Yeah.
Or in your green bin if you haven't got a compost bin. But very. I could have had a delivery, but there was a 3-day wait for a delivery.
Right. I have a question for Smart Talk. I don't know.
I have a question for Stephen. I see you using Smart Talk for your note. I want to know how much did you pay?
Smart talk.
Smart talk. I've got the same question, John. What is smart talk?
Never heard of it.
And
No.
are you talking about mobile phones or PCs or? No, I don't have smart. I've never heard of smart talk. I don't have a note. I have got a Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, which I can show you if you want, but I won't. We're not selling at the moment.
And
Smart,
I've got the Motorola 50.
There you
smart
are.
talk's a shopping cart for use on a mobile phone.
All right. Okay, so are we going to talk about? No, should we? Do we have to?
I think
Talk
we've
about
got
them?
to mention it just to I think what we should talk about is electricity and things.
Right,
Should
okay.
we scrap the 25% levy for green fuel for the moment?
Yep.
Yep. That was short and sweet. Yeah. I mean, basically, we can't afford to be green at the moment. We can't afford to be B. So spending money being green is counterintuitive. We just don't. I'm again. Just stop it.
Yeah,
We
I'll
need to
tell you
save-
what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, on you go.
No, we need to save people money now. Simple as.
Absolutely. Do you know, there's a guy came on, the Nick Ferrari, it's on TikTok today actually, and he came out and he'd worked everything out, and Nick Ferrari was flabbergasted. The guy had done his work. He says, stop everybody, the people that make a lot of money, a lot of money, the billionaires, don't give them the £12,000 and a half, 12,000 and a half anymore, meantime, and their tax, and that raises another £2,000 from each of them to go in. And there was three things he said, and Nick tried to have a go at each one, but he says, I've got to agree with you. And it really was, the guy was very clever.
Yeah.
If you find it, it's on TikTok, or you'll maybe get to on YouTube, and he'd worked it out,
Yeah.
because if you're a billionaire, you don't need that threshold of 12.5 grand.
Nope.
You don't need it.
Yeah. Anyway, we've had people talking sense. First of all, it was the Lib Dems, then it's Keir Starmer saying don't raise the gas thingy. What's it? Because it's due to go up again in October, isn't it? And again in January, and there's no cost reason for doing it, as far as I can see, and as far as I've read. The reason the prices are going up is because the government wants to put them up. And the government wants to put them up in order to protect the power companies so that no power company goes bust. Well, in the current situation, the only people making money are the power companies. So it's unlikely that they're going to go bust. So I'm with Keir Starmer and Ed Davey in saying just stop it. Don't put it up.
Why are they making so much money? They're making enormous profits at the moment.
That's right. Mega profits.
And the minute you say to them that you're going to give them a levy, an extra tax, their accountants will be working away to see what they can do to get out of it. And they say, oh, we may have to shut places down now. We might not have to do the research and development. Oh, that's going to be a shame for you. This is what they're going to come back with. Oh, that could cost you jobs in the future. Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, isn't it? I mean, basically, sort of muddy the waters. But I definitely don't think that they should go up. I mean, it's what, £1,900 at the moment. It's going up to 3,500 in October.
Yeah,
and possibly 4,500 in January. Don't quote me on those figures, but
no.
the cost of supplying electricity and gas is not going up, John.
Dunno. It's like petrol's fell a bit, but the amount of oil has fell is dramatic by comparison. So
yeah,
we're still
because
getting
we were outside.
that.
as we were out cycling yesterday, Fiona pointed to me, look at garage, it's cheaper than Tesco, I think it was. Just dropped the price. But people are travelling to go to this garage, just not far from me, to top up. And while they're there, you do a bit of extra selling. You make sure you got extra stuff there. Except, oh, that's my dog running in. And basically, he's lowered his prices right away. But the others are taking a bit more time to lower the price, you know?
Yeah.
But they'll say, because we bought it at that price.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
mean,
problem.
they're quick to put prices up, but slow to bring them down.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Problem. Right, over to Corinda, and Corinda is saying, Peter, you're in a different place today. You're still in.
well, I would have been out in my garage, but Sheila's just hopefully hearing this that my computer, the mouse didn't work. So I'm going to have to get another plug-in mouse for emergencies. So okay, Sheila, she's listening and she's laughing. It's a
Oh, Sheila.
hello, go and see them. Yeah, look.
Hi.
Morning.
Oh, look at my hair. That's lovely.
They'll get out.
Okay.
Go and shut his door, darling. There you go. This is live, people. This is live.
It surely is. Right, what else is going on then? Okay, Ukraine.
Is it still on the go?
It is. It's well, that's the problem. It's dropped off the front pages, and we get the odd report on the news, but there is a counteroffensive going on at the moment, and basically, bottom line is that the Ukraine want the Crimea back. So they're actually
Right, I didn't know that.
They're attacking the Crimea. Oh, sorry, somebody is attacking the Crimea, and all the I think 4,500 cars left the Crimea yesterday over a bridge to go into Russia. So the Russians in the Crimea are actually going back to Russia.
And the reason is because they're getting attacked.
Yep. Yeah, there've been 3 attacks so far. Obviously, the Ukrainians have got the armaments from America, from Europe, and they can attack. They've gone on the offensive. And in Crimea, I mean, we spoke last week about them blowing bridges up. Now they're going further than that. And yeah, I mean, this is just going to drag on and on. We're nearing 6 months. I mean, next week it'll be 183 days since this all started. And I think that the one thing that's evident now is there are going to be no winners.
It's just going to see they were sitting there saying we've got Crimea, it's back. All of a sudden, I don't know if they're indiscriminate rockets or they're targeted, but all of a sudden they're sitting there going, Crimea, oh, it's great. And then all of a sudden they get attacked every so often. They attack Crimea every so often. They attack the troops in Kherson. They just do sporadic attacks. So they'll maybe put their troops to one area, and while they're going up there, they'll get them on the roads, and then they'll look at where they're least vulnerable, at least protected, and hit them there, and hit them there, and hit them there. Now, I do believe one day they'll attack Russia themselves, like sporadic bombing and things like that in their home territory. I think that'll happen one day. You know, like special troops going in and assassinating people and things that might happen.
Yeah, I agree, Peter. I mean, the Russians have visited terror on the Ukraine, and there's going to be payback.
Yeah.
Okay, so that battle continues, and it's not going to end anytime soon because they're asking for more missiles.
Is anybody giving out any death casualties?
I don't think we'll ever get those, Peter. Because John, do you know of any?
No, I haven't seen any figures. the latest feeling is that it's going to be stalemate for the rest of the year, and there'll be no
Right.
significant changes in what's happening. So
And I'll tell you what might have an effect on it as well. The weather.
Winter.
Winter comes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to have effect with heating and food supplies and stuff like that, you know?
Okay. Right. Okay. Let's change tack again. How did you survive the weekend? We went shopping 8 o'clock Friday morning and then just hid on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday between 11 and 3 o'clock. That was our recipe for staying safe during the great British heat wave, because it got to 95 degrees here, which is incredible.
Wow. 95 degrees.
Well, yeah, in Fahrenheit, yeah.
Oh, Fahrenheit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had on Saturday, I was getting ready for a gig. I was doing it, singing in a marquee.
Mhm.
So I was under the marquee, but I was nobody in the marquee listening to me. They were all outside in the sun. So I just sang on. And then they came in basically when it started to get dark at the last hour, and we had a great time. And they said, "Can you stay on? We'll give you more money." And I went, "No, I'm tired." So I left them on a
Yeah.
high. That's the way you should
Oh,
leave
yeah.
them. Leave them on a high. And it was, I says, you've got my best now. I says, that's me going home. And it's great. So with my new i7 computer, told you about that. And I
Yeah.
found a new system. There's a new system called Cara Fun. And if you ever want to have a party in your house, you can pay to go on it, and you'll get 49,000 songs to sing on the internet live. You know,
Right.
keychain. Sorry?
Brilliant. I'm listening. Yeah.
Cara Fun. And basically, you can key change and everything. And it's really good. And then on the Sunday, you're not going to believe this, Sheila and I, without the dogs, went down to Dundee, which was a bit depressing in the city centre, I've got to tell you. And then we went up to a place called Broughty Ferry, and we walked across Broughty Ferry, watched them on jet skis, and watched canoeing, and people on the beach. And it was fantastic. But a really nice day, Sheila and I. We're going to
Well,
do it again next year.
brilliant. I mean, I've heard of Broughty Ferry, but I've not
Yeah.
actually been there or seen it. So
Yeah.
it is known outside its area. Yeah, John, how did
Okay.
you cope? I know you were laid up, but how did you cope with
too
it?
much at all, really. Just stayed in. Didn't do anything.
John gets up. John, you get up every day and say, still got it.
It's awful.
You think you got worse than me? I mean, Sheila said today she's still not got over it this morning. She says,
No,
I'm still not over this, you know?
it's definitely crap.
Ah, well, we'll have to watch what it's about. I'm not sure if I'll take the next job.
Oh, why so?
There's too
Why
many.
so, Peter?
I can't mention it on here because FB will listen in. And but there's too many things I've seen elsewhere.
I mean, After Effects.
Yeah, after getting, we can't say it on here if we're on Facebook.
Right. Okay.
We
Do you
can't
want to
jeopardize it.
type it in the
You know?
chat if you want? No,
Yeah.
if you're not to mention it on there, then we shouldn't mention it on there. We are censored whether we like it or not. And having done 337 shows, we want to do a 338th next week, so we've got to behave. Them's the rules. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there isn't much going on. I mean, football. Well, I can't talk about football. Can't talk about football because Burnley are in the Championship now. So, until we come out again, I won't talk about Burnley. Fans are not happy because we're in the same league as Blackburn. So,
Look at host chat.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Peter. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. So football's off the agenda. How are your teams doing, John?
Don't know. They're in the top half. That's about it, really.
Okay.
So
Why are
we've
you not
had
speaking about football?
2 people on consecutive days say they want to buy Manchester United. Elon Musk,
Okay.
but his was a joke. But Ratcliffe, the billionaire, wants to buy it now. So Jim Ratcliffe.
Say good morning to Kelly. Insania. Talk about gardens, horticulture, allotments. Over to Corinda, who's breaking news. TikTok to teach influencers about US midterm election rules. Okay. Well, that's probably a good idea. But that's in November, isn't it? That we don't need to bother about that. Well, we don't need to bother about that really because it's in America. Doesn't
Still
affect
has an after effect with us. You know, I see that the lady Cheney got voted out. Dick Cheney's daughter. She's out.
by somebody backed by Trump.
Yeah, and President Biden's ratings have really dropped, big time.
Yeah.
People are really feeling it in America now. The price of fuel. Remember, that was the land where basically you could guzzle petrol as much as you want. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And look at him now. I don't know if it's reached other levels, but wow, how things have changed. You know.
Indeed, things have definitely changed. Over to we've done Corinne's question. That's good. So, do you want to talk about allotments, John?
Haven't seen mine. I should think it's probably all dried up, even though we've had the rain, because I didn't get down there to do much watering. A few friends have thrown some water around, but it's not the same as watering it yourself.
Yeah, true. I was shooting the video over at the Quartz Garden, and I posted an image from the video on Facebook, and the people liked it, which is good. And then Dan Nelson, who both John and I know, said, "The grass is too green. What are they doing?" I mean, you can't win, can you?
No, I don't know if you've seen me out in the park the other day. I went live down at a place called the Seaton Park, and we've got a beautiful. It's what we call the Taj Mahal because it looks the same image of the garden there looking up. And I put it on
Yeah.
Facebook. Did any of you see it live? Okay,
No,
so
missed it.
you'll see it in my feed that my new feed one. And I really must take more pictures when I'm out and post them
Yeah.
up because there's some beautiful areas and we come across some. I've really enjoyed getting about my city, and even my friend Andy's coming on about it. Sometimes if you're in Andy, you're doing well. He's had to change his diet. He's lost over a stone, and he came out with biking yesterday, and I got a mirror. I had to get a mirror because I like to wear a mirror on the bike, and I'm looking back, and I just seen him getting smaller. Not with his diet because I was fast.
Yeah, I know. I was with you. All right. Okay. Let's take a little break for a moment and take a look at the video I was just speaking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the video. If we can switch our mics off. My mic is off.
Okay.
The Quartz Garden, and just had lunch. And the thing about the Quartz Garden is it's a beautiful place to actually stroll around and just enjoy the gardens. So I'm just going to walk around, and I am using my Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and my new DJI OM5 gimbal. I've got the internal microphone on the Samsung, so no external mic. I'll try an external mic next time, but it's just so beautiful today. It's about 28 degrees, and I'm just going to try something here, because if I do this, I should be able to change the view. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to come down again. It's actually stuck, isn't it? Wait a minute. Let's adjust this. This is just a trial. Okay, so I'm going to go like that, or like that, or like that. I've got to be able to see what's on the screen, so I can see what's on the screen. And just wondering how steady this is. This is better than actually holding the phone. It's a lot easier to actually grip the gimbal than it is to actually grip the phone, so this is a win. But there's so many things this gimbal can do, and I really haven't learnt half of them, or even a quarter of them. But let's look at the borders, and there are people here today. Car park was full, but I don't think everybody actually came over here. But there's just flowers here in full bloom. We are at the beginning of August, first week in August, and the grounds here are just absolutely stunning. Now, the other thing that's important this year is that I've got my new eyes, which means that this year I can actually see clearly where I'm going. That's the entrance over there, where you come in, and then you and we're back.
Oh,
Oh, good. Right, okay, just a short interlude. And Corinda is saying, right, was this in Scotland, Peter? Yes, Broughty Ferry is in Scotland, yeah. And
yes, yeah. Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just catching up.
I must start filming things.
Yeah.
In fact, I do film on my bike, because I've got my camera on my lapel. I'll have to look at. Do you know, I film these things, but I only use it in case there's a problem. That's what I use it for.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But I mean, you're going to all these places, and the footage, you know, I mean, yeah.
We'll try and do something, because it's good. They're in 15-minute increments. But when you've got somebody cycling next to you yapping away, and for something, is that recording, Peter? It goes, yes, this is bits in case anything happens, but it goes nowhere else unless there's a problem. You know,
Right.
people can be funny about filming, but you can film. Oh, by the way, Corinda, you can film in public? Just to let you know that, but maybe not in a bank.
Not
What
in a
was the
bank,
outcome
no.
of that?
Right, okay. And Kelly is saying, great gardens, do they have a sprinkler system or irrigation? I don't know what the secret is. We're in a drought at the moment, and nobody should be watering anything, but the gardens did look in certain areas to be in good condition. Over to Corinda. Corinda, how long does it take the DJI to charge? Is it overnight or how long? I haven't had to charge it yet, Corinda. So I can't tell you the answer to that. And next question. In Ontario, we've had bounty of vegetables this summer. Marijuana is doing good too. Okay, so good for crops.
Just one question on your gimbal. Have you managed to get a Bluetooth mic yet?
No, I haven't. I'm still looking. I am still looking because, as we said last week, if you buy these cheapy things, then you don't get the sound quality. John said,
And are you using that? Are you using a mic that's plugged in then?
no, that was just that the mic there was the one that's built into the phone.
Okay, right. Because line, you get anyway. Yes.
Right.
Right. Well, we were cycling yesterday, and me and Andy looked at each other and we went, "What's that?" Somebody had been smoking marijuana or weed. Is that what it's called? As we passed them, I do not know how they can inhale that stuff. It's horrible.
I never done drugs, so I have no idea
No.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, the gimbal makes all the difference. I mean, the images are very, very steady. And out to Corinda. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I use my Samsung Galaxy S22 and it get hot. Don't know why. The problem we've had over the last weekend is that it's been too hot for us. Never mind the phones. Do you think that's a contributing factor, John?
I think all phones get hot. It's just that it's only when we start to hold them on a basis of walking around and videoing that we really notice it.
Indeed.
I quite often leave. I mean, I've got an estate car, and when I'm down the allotment, I'll leave the hatch open, and I'll put my phone down inside there, and quite often I'll come back to it, pick it up, and it's red hot because I haven't moved anything with it, but it's been in the sun.
Yeah. But I mean, modern phones are doing so much they will occasionally get warm. It shouldn't get hot as such. Over to Kelly.
Stinks like skunk too. Oh, he's talking about weed.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I'm just looking at Aberdeen Live. I'm looking at Aberdeen Live news, guys.
Yeah.
And Aberdeen politicians and business voice support for a green Freeport bed as a proposed facility could deliver billions for Aberdeen. Now, what is a Freeport?
John?
Well, we have one at Birmingham, but I don't know what it does. The old Birmingham airport, pre the new area that there's now, is in fact a Freeport. When you pull up to the old buildings, it says in big letters Birmingham Freeport. Something to do with taxis. Yeah. So goods are there, and I think they're treated as not landed and something like that. So, but no, I've no real idea. But I drive past the sign Birmingham Freeport on a regular basis.
So I think basically something get made in Germany, come over here, get made further, and then go out again. There's something like that to do with the VAT as well. But it brings in a lot of work. Are you looking that up, John?
Yeah. It's a free economic zone. Yeah.
Right.
The term is used to designate areas in which companies are taxed very lightly or not at all to encourage economic activity.
Okay. Right. So somebody's a winner there. But as soon as it comes out of the Freeport into our land, I'll be VAT and everything on it.
Yeah. As I said, I think goods are treated as not landed until they exit the Freeport.
Oh, right. Okay. So it might never exit it might come
go
to the
back
Freeport.
to another country after we've done some work.
Yes.
Yeah, and increase profitability. But
I'll have to study that a bit to see what that brings, Now, Who's your
Things
marketing
like
doing?
skunk, because skunk isn't something we have in Europe. That's
Yeah,
definitely a North American animal.
yeah. So, did you see that? Let's talk about here. I would love to get abroad just now. However, a couple of things stop me. One, I've got to get proper insurance, and I mean proper, making sure you tell them everything about you. And here's a thing: by law, you can go to your doctor and ask for all your records. And I think I told you, but I asked my records from 1960. They nearly fainted. He says, "You're joking." I says, "No." I says, "I need it to tell my insurance everything about me, everything." And this is, "Could you maybe take the last 5 years?" I says, "Well, there you go." And so that's one. But I've already suffered from one plane flight in Britain because it's cancelled. And the flights are going to go up in price because the demand's there, but the flights aren't there now, you know? So what do we do? When was the last time you guys were abroad? I know you were in Germany, Stephen. Yeah,
Yeah, I went to Germany this year.
yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
But
It was a long time ago.
yeah, I mean, it's 5 years for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
Okay.
So,
Have you had outdoor concerts much this year with COVID still around? We I don't think COVID's actually stopped any concerts this year, has it?
No, there's been lots of them.
Yeah. No, we'd basically we've been convinced by our government that COVID is not a problem, and we're not treating it as a problem until possibly the winter. Yeah. So life goes on as normal now, Kelly, as it did before COVID. Everything we could do before, we can do now. There are no restrictions whatsoever. There's personal choice as to whether you wear a mask or not. Anywhere you go,
Yeah.
apart from got to wear masks in doctors and hospitals, but very
Yeah.
few places.
I went to the dentist a couple of weeks ago. They were no longer insisting on mask at the dentist.
No.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I go into the city on my bike a lot, right? The city is dead. The city is dead. There's such an atmosphere in my city anyway. It's just we go through a car park when we go out. We go through a car park. It takes us into an estate that's full of oil companies.
Mhm.
I've just started seeing cars going back to it now, but there's hardly anybody going about. It's unbelievable. I don't know what your cities are like, but they're absolutely. It's just something hanging over us. We need to have something that'll make us all happier. It's all gone. Let's get back out there, and it's just gone.
Yeah, I think
Maybe that's been successful in Birmingham with the Commonwealth Games, because Birmingham City Centre, they've all been going. People have been going into it to see assets from the games that have been put on display. So Birmingham City Centre is quite busy at the moment, particularly the attraction of the mechanical bull that was used to open the games, which is now in Victoria Square.
right.
And
Catch
do you
up.
think it's been good for the city?
I think it's definitely been good for the city. It was not really of much interest to me as a person, but it's brought a lot of people to the city and money into the city.
And showed Birmingham at its best, because it is. I mean, infrastructure-wise, Birmingham is amazing, isn't it?
We've got this reputation of being a crappy place to come, but in fact, Birmingham is actually quite a spectacular place these days. And when people turn up, they are gobsmacked to see just how good the city is. I don't care much for going into the city centre, but then, it's just not my scene. I don't shop in Solihull town centre either, so. But yeah,
I've been
we
to
have a reputation of not having the the second city drama place. In fact, when you come here, people are actually amazed when they see things like Millennium Point and all sorts of places that just comes. I mean, the canal side up in Broad Street is just a stunning place to go.
Yeah.
Too many people there for my own liking, but yeah,
You know, I've been down to
there's all sorts of things. The only thing that's in the city centre that I think is the biggest heap of rubbish is the library, and Prince Charles described that as a carbuncle, and one has to agree with him.
well, even I remember the bullring as the old bullring, John. And then when I
Yeah,
visited again, it was
the
all
old brewery,
changed.
of course, is quite interesting in that that's, before we were married, and I guess in the early days of being married, and this is a long time ago, 41 years ago, Celia worked in the city centre. So I would
Right.
meet her on a Saturday, in the bullring. So,
Okay.
and I would go and
Yeah.
buy, it was romantic in them days. I would go and buy flowers and things and then meet her.
Oh, shit.
Flowers. Don't do that sort of lark anymore. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Very
not true
good.
actually. I buy flowers for Celia on a fairly regular basis.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I've also been to Broad Street and a night out as well. That was interesting. I could tell you another story, but I won't tell you one
No,
now.
Broad Street, you see. Now, I worked in Broad Street a very, very long time ago
Yeah.
in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, Broad Street's changed as well. I mean, the headquarters of the council used to be in Broad Street, not there anymore. And it's full of restaurants and hotels these days and
Yeah.
nightclubs. And then you've got,
Yeah.
Brindley Place behind it. And then you've got all down the canal, which is quite
Yeah.
an attraction. And then you've got Gas Street Basin, which is the old thing that's in Broad Street. So,
Well, that was an informational from John Upton for Birmingham. Well done, John.
Yeah.
Well done.
Right, over to Kelly, and Kelly is saying good news, and that was about the COVID situation in the UK. And over to Corinda, joined us late. I guess it's no more news about Ukraine and Russia. I guess that's over. Unfortunately, Corinda, it's still going on and is going to continue, and we talked about that at the beginning of the show. And Corinda again, nearly 11 o'clock, John. It's over to you.
Oh, blimey, there's 7 minutes.
It's not 7 minutes.
It's not. Corinda's watch isn't working properly because it's not time yet. Okay.
7 minutes, Corinda.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sheila's creeping around there. She doesn't know about what you call it? Crisp. Yes. Well, I've no crisps, but you don't eat crisps.
No, crisp.
Packaging.
You sit with this now.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to prove it's live.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Please don't shout them in front of my friends.
I should be very careful because any moment now this arm is going to appear and slap you on the back of the head. Yeah. And it'll be just desserts as well.
I can tell you now, we've been together 20 years and we've had one genuine argument, and that was one genuine argument. Can you believe that? Living with me.
9,999 non-genuine arguments instead. Yeah.
Did I tell you about my ex-wife though? The things I done.
No.
I'll give you.
No.
I'll give you examples. They're okay. So my ex-wife was 4'11". I'm not. I'm 5'5", 5'6". And when she used to shout at me, she would come up and shout at me. and I would look down and I would go like this with my thumbs. She says, "What are you doing?" I says, "I'm pushing your eyes back in." Then she would say to me, "How do you think I feel?" I said, "With your hands."
Right.
You son of a- Oh dear, that was fun. Do you think you could live with me now for a week?
It's kind of you to offer, Peter. We
But
sure
just
get.
when you're out on your bike to do the shopping, Peter.
Do you know, I do that now, John. I go on my bike and I go and get shopping. I'll say to Sheila, what you've got to watch with a bike is you don't buy too much, because we've done that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe cycle up to West Hills and say, you're going to Home Bargains. And I say, but remember, we're on a bike. But just to get one thing, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
No.
I've got two big pouches in my bicycle, and I do take messages home. It's very handy. Very handy.
The council round here, I had an email from them yesterday offering me a trial of a bike, for electric bike for deliveries.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
So that's something that's going on to businesses in the Solihull area.
And
And we-
who's delivering it? Is it a private firm?
It doesn't give you any information. It just says, pretty picture of a bike, and then it says apply here. And when you click apply here, it says you need to visit the council website. And I thought, well, why doesn't it just go straight to the council website? And it's typical local government, no concept of understanding of marketing and the internet,
Yeah.
etc.
Now, do you know something? Electric bikes are really, really going to be the future, but people just don't. The problem we've got with electrical bikes now is we've got too many choices. Okay? Far too many choices. And it's very hard to pick the one that you want now. There's just too many things. We're learning all the time. One, get disc brakes. Do get a hub down at the bottom, not in the back wheel. Little things like that we're learning. The battery. Some people buy two batteries and take one with them to make
Yeah.
sure they don't run out. All these things are happening, but it's just forever changing, and the batteries will get lighter. Just hopefully one day the batteries will be as small as. Remember our mobile phones? They'll be as small as mobile phones.
Possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, watching some of these Tomorrow's Worlds from 50 years ago, 40 and 50 years
Yeah.
ago. Totally amazing what's changed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
And we're now in a situation where it changes from year to year, never mind decade to decade. Yeah.
very good. Very
Yeah.
good.
I can remember
Yes.
not having a telephone at home when I was
Yeah.
much younger, obviously. And
Yeah.
today, kids can't believe that you would have a house with no telephone capability in it.
Corinda, I used to have to get up in the morning, put on a coal fire, and the glass had frost on it in my house. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we had it hard.
I can remember ice on the inside of the window.
I can remember ice on the inside of the window too. Metal frame windows, ice on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah. So whole life is we just became too comfortable, haven't we?
We're no
I
longer
mean,
gatherer hunters. We're just shoppers.
well, when I not lost everything, but basically when I was down to the bottom, I just went beside you. I lived, Corinda, in northwest London, and I lived in a porta convia and a metal chair and a metal locker, and that's all I had. And I had the best time of my life.
Yeah. Kelly's saying, do you have or use TikTok? That's a no from me.
it's a no from me.
I do watch TikTok. I've learned so much from TikTok. In fact, I met a woman from Canada, and I met her about SEO. She'd left Google, and she's helped me with my Google ads, which has saved me half the costs by having a consultation with her. So yes, I do use TikTok for marketing advice.
John, it's over to you.
Now it really is that time. So, with my snotty nose and my aching back and my chest, I say goodbye from Scotland, goodbye from Wiltshire, and goodbye from the West Midlands. We'll be here, same time, same place, next week, hopefully feeling better.